Hello, and welcome back for a daily dose of spiritual vitamin with Bonnie B. Last study, we were studying the Emerald Tablets. We're going to pick right back up there. We're going to continue. This video is for the light worker, the warrior, divine masculines and feminine, those who are awakened and those who want to come out of traditionalism. That's what this is all about. This is a channel of awakening, of higher ascension, of knowledge. So, we're going to jump back in this book. Finish picking up where we were. Okay? Let's get busy with it. The materials we'll be studying today come from Matthew Barnes, the Emerald Tablets 101. I'm going to pick right back up where we left off on the last teaching. It goes like this. This inner jihad. Last video we talked about the jihad. And the fact that the jihad was actually meant to deal with the inner workings of oneself. Fighting the lower you, or the self-ego, and the higher you. It was never meant to be a physical war. It was always meant as an internal struggle. And then there were zealots who took it to the outside, to the physical plane, but it was never meant to be on the physical plane. Okay? Let's go further. The inner jihad is a war that we are all engaged in all the time. So you are always fighting inside for the higher self. It is a war we are here to fight. Not a war with other people, but a war within ourselves. It is our ultimate destiny to take on and eventually defeat the darkness within ourselves. Once freed from this darkness, we experience a nirvana, or a heaven promised to us as in many other different religions. In other words, you come into that higher consciousness of who God is. This is about spirituality. A reward so far is beyond anything we can comprehend, that no words can adequately describe its allure. It's talking about heavenly rewards, not here on earth. This, along with instructions on how to go about this war, is the inner teachings on jihad. I believe the 14 cryptic sentences on the Emerald Tablet to be a code written in a symbolic language that only initiates or inner students of Hermetic philosophy will be able to understand. Writing these teachings in codes was meant to protect the teachings from those that were not yet ready for such information. It is believed that the 14 statements of the tablet, once understood, basically sum up the inner teachings of the ancient philosopher Hermes Trismegistus, which have been passed down from teacher to student over the centuries. I am not alone in this view. The name Hermes Trismegistus means Hermes the thrice great. This was the Egyptian way of expressing just how highly they thought of this man and his teachings. He and his teachings were so regarded that the Egyptians equated Hermes with their god Thoth, T-O-T-H, T-H-O-T-H, Thoth. And the Greek equated him with their god Mercury. So everybody equated Hermes with the god Mercury and Thoth. Hermes had been a lifelong student of both science and religion. He felt both subjects to be essentially the same pursuit of knowledge. Science and religion have the same pursuit of knowledge. Religion was a study of God, while science was a study of what God had created. Ultimately, both studies pointed to the same truth: the presence of an underlying intelligence behind the workings of this world. This world is not randomly put together. And for Hermes, this indicated the intelligence of some kind. Did you hear me? This world was not randomly put together. It took some intelligence of some kind to put this world that we exist in today together. Religion tends to personify this intelligence. They like to give this intelligence a face and a form and a name. That's religion. In order for them to even be able to comprehend and wrap their mind around it, they have to give it a face, intelligence, and name. Otherwise, they just can't fathom. They like to define this intelligence, speak for this intelligence, and punish those who oppose their particular teachings on this intelligence. Religion often breeds intolerance. Scientists can be just as bad. The more they learn of this world, the more they somehow think, and they somehow lose the mystery to it all. The more they investigate, the more it loses the mystery to them. The more they think they can explain, the less mysterious life seems to be for them. It is as if understanding the mechanisms behind the miracle somehow makes the miracle less miraculous. So in other words, maybe if I can explain how this planet got here, it's no longer a miracle that it's sitting here. Maybe if I can explain how the stardust is in the sky, it is no longer a miracle it's in the sky. Maybe if I can explain how this planet got all its green trees and how, the water wind up being here, and if I can explain all these things, then they no longer have merit anywhere else. Because I can explain it. It is as if understanding the mechanisms behind the miracle somehow makes this miracle less miraculous or special. If, for example, a scientist can plot out and understand how an egg and the sperm come together and form an embryo, and that the embryo forms and grows, and then somehow this knowledge diminishes the appreciation for the miracle of birth. Science often breeds arrogance. These two studies, science and religion, are often at odds with each other. They both seem to feel they operate on opposite ends of the spectrum. And for each group feels they alone represent the correct pursuit. For Hermes, this was not the case. He saw the two approaches as one and the same. Hermes saw them the same. Simply two different angles of studying and searching for the intelligence behind the workings of this world. So he saw them as both being equal for searching in the truth. Unlike many of our modern religions, Hermes claimed that the intelligence that we call God could not truly be named For it was beyond names. And he was so right. It is beyond names. It's vast. It could not be drawn, for it was beyond form. There's no form for it. It's everywhere. It's everything. It could not even be understood. For it was beyond anything that we could comprehend in our human minds. The it, God, source, is more than we can fathom and comprehend. It has no form. It's form, yes, formless. It, capital I, capital T, the it, the source of all creation, the sole creator, the it. Anything we could yet comprehend as humans, speaking for it, was something none of us had understanding to do. Lean not into thine own understanding. Taking another's word as the gospel of truth was just erroneous. This intelligence is something each one of us must experience in order to even have the slightest understanding of its nature. You have to feel it for yourself. Personal relationship with God. In touch with your source. He's telling you to do. Same thing God been saying. Same thing Enoch been saying. Same thing everything we done read been saying. You need to get in touch. The great light inside of self. That's what it's about. And until you get to that point, unlike many scientists, Hermes saw in the pursuit of scientific knowledge the proof of this intelligence's hand in every single aspect of life. Only chaos was an accident. In life there was order, and order demanded intelligence. From the rhythm of the seasons to the routine of the predictable routes of celestial objects, there was an order. So from the stars shooting through the sky, and the placement of every star, and the placement of every planet, everything had order. The whole solar system, everything had order. Existence on this planet, everything had order. Which means intelligence has to exist in order for them to maintain order. From the cohesion of the atomic particles to the miracle of the birth and the life cycle of all living things, Hermes saw order and therefore intelligence. Science was his proof. The more Hermes learned about impeccable order to the universe, the more he saw within it the hand of order and design. With the impeccable placements of planetary systems and things, the more he saw, the more he appreciated the order of God. It did nothing but draw him in to his belief. When he looked at the placement of the planets and the placement of everything out here and the order of the celestial bodies, knowing when to rotate and when to go where, Hermes realized that there was something greater at work, holding all of this intelligence together. It wasn't just held. There was something intelligent going on. The more he understood about the workings of this world, the more miraculous it became for him, not less. It is so often the case with so many scientists. Eventually, the knowledge and understanding Hermes obtained over many years of study and deep contemplation culminated in the vision he had of the intelligence of this world. From that point forward, he claimed to be reborn, born again, enlightened, or awakened. Because God has shown him things where he was enlightened and awakened. Because he began to seek source. He began to seek that higher intellectual being that was running everything, that was in control. So he could be enlightened. He could be rebirthed. Only God can do that. When you tap in to what's in here. He had transcended the limits of his mind. Did you hear me? He transcended the limits of his mind. Consciousness. 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 Transcending the limits means you ascend. Transcending the limits means you ascend. You have to ascend. It's the only way you can transcend the limit. In your mind space. Your third eye. Your third eye. Right here. From the pineal gland. Opens this up. Lets you see things. Opens it. Right up. Allow you to see some stuff. God will feed it knowledge and wisdom. Open it up. Boom. Enlighten it. You get revelation knowledge. God will start feeding you things. He'll start showing you things. He'll activate that DNA. You won't look at things the same as everyone else. You'll be spiritually led. The crystallized soul that is within you will become activated, and that light will begin to come out. But you gotta wake him up. He claimed that the experience he had was transformational in a way that we as human beings could not yet comprehend. As such, he went about teaching others the knowledge that he believed would lead them to the same vision and subsequently awakening, as he was so lucky to have experienced. Hermes had found that through direct experience, the soul of the world, he had witnessed creation and was taught the right meaning of life. The Egyptians believed that this knowledge transformed him into a god among men, little g, and that he was with the same knowledge and effort, you could do the same. And it's true. With the same knowledge and effort, you can do the same as Hermes. You can transform. You can ascend. You can go beyond the limits of this mind and consciousness. Yes, you can. But first you have to learn to release some things. In order for your mind and consciousness to wake up and ascend, you got to release some traditionalism in here. You got to break this free. It needs to be broke free. So you can wake up. Come up out of traditionalism. Come up out of all the stuff you've been taught. Ask the Holy Ghost to tap into you. Show you what to keep and what to throw out. Because He'll teach you. I'll give you knowledge. He'll teach you how to discern. He'll teach you how to go through this life and pick apart bullshit like an art. You do not have to continue in the road you're on. You have a choice. I want you to awaken. Wake up. Every day, more and more starseeds are realizing they are starseeds. And that's why I'm here. Because we need to wake up. We got work. Humanity needs the compassion to change. We need to get the word of God out. The fact that they have the power within themselves to manifest this change. We need to teach them how to tap into who they are. We need to teach them that they are immortal beings, that God placed a soul in each one of them. That they don't have to wind up in the smooth circles of torment. They don't. Unless they choose to. Because we all get free will. We can only take the horses to the water. We can't make them drink. I love you guys so much. And I want nothing but the best. I want you to wake up. I want you to realize there is a spiritual war at hand. And that we've got to armor up. We've got to change the way we think. We've got to open our consciousness. We've got to expand. We've got to grow. We've got to wake up. This needs to be awakened so the divine feminines and masculines can come in. You've got to wake up. Please. Awaken. Come into who you are. Who you were always meant to be. Claim your thrones. You're waiting. Okay. That's a daily dose of spiritual vitamin from mine. You know I'll be back to bring some more of this because I ain't quite finished. I got a way to go. I got some more stuff to talk about. So, we're in the Emerald Tablets. I'm going to be here for a minute. You all stay blessed. If you like the contents of this video, give it a thumbs up. Check to subscribe, share it. Come on back and get more vitamin. Peace and love. Welcome. Wake up, everybody. This war ain't going nowhere. It's going to get worse. Gotta wake up. I love you guys. You stay blessed. Peace and love.